You saw. You're a dick. Hi, I go by Catherine.
Oh, you really want me to introduce myself?
Yes, I really want you to introduce yourself.
But they know.
Oh my god.
If they've watched the other videos, they've seen the intro.
Okay, anyway. We're trying to do a quick 5-minute review of the Seminole Heights Japan Festival, which we went to yesterday when it was very cold. So I didn't mind the weather so much. I was not a fan of a lot of the organization of it. The food I had was good, but not great, except for the cheesecake place, because those cannolis were phenomenal. And I'm gonna hand it over to you real quick.
We had cannolis. We all shared. Our group shared.
Yeah, we went to group. Or met a group
cannolis from, I believe it's Leanne's Cheesecakes.
Yes.
That was possibly the best that I've had from almost anywhere.
And they were really nice to me on Facebook when I couldn't spell cannolis correctly.
Missed out on the cupcakes because they sold out pretty quickly. The line for the hot coffee, hot chocolate, hot teas, everything hot to drink was a mile-long line. It was almost a 25-minute wait just to get stuff on average.
That was it. It was a really long wait for everything, which I didn't like, but I kind of expected. But I think if one thing I heard mentioned was that if they had more vendors, they would have had less lines. But I don't know how true that was.
Well, that goes without saying. If you go to a food truck rally, it's the more trucks. Even if you have 2,000 people showing up, everybody's able to make a choice of all the vendors there.
I still stand by what I said in that it wasn't a Japanese food festival as far as I'm concerned. It was an Asian food truck festival. And their excuse was, well, it's their take on Japanese cuisine, but they weren't, except for one place, and I guess you could call the faux place another one. Mm-hmm. They weren't doing a take on Japanese cuisine at all. It was like, this is just what we're going to present, and we might rename a couple of things Japanese just to make it seem like it's fusion. Yeah, but it was Asian fusion, and it's still Asian American fusion, not Asian fusion. Like, you didn't have Asian French fusion. It was all Asian American fusion, with the exception of the cheesecake place, who were like, we're just Italian, and you can just deal with it.
That was about it. But you also look at the fact that, all right, so you have Vietnamese pho. All right, fine, screw it. Why should they do a Japanese twist on anything?
That's true.
If you're gonna say it's Japanese fusion, then fine, they can probably put a spin on something by adding teriyaki sauce on some meat, throwing it in. They had the one company who did a legitimate Japanese fusion where they had a teriyaki filet mignon and a Japanese pizza and a few other items. I never looked at their menu.
That was the only one I saw, because I did look at their menu. That was the only one I saw that was really Japanese fusion. There were a couple other things that I didn't really understand what country they would have been from, and you weren't there with me to check.
I didn't look at it.
And they had quesadillas.
I didn't like the fact that almost everybody, big thing, and it's almost insulting to me, just as an Asian. It's just insulting for me to see something pigeonholed so deeply, which was almost every vendor had the green tea Kit Kats added to something. Once they threw that in there, boom, it's Japanese.
It's Japanese.
Like, what the? No, it made no sense.
It's like, it's a hamburger. It's totally American. If it's spaghetti and meatballs, it's got to be Italian, because only Italians ever do spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh, the hell with that.
We have an Italian menu now. Look at it.
If it's pasta, therefore it's Italian.
All right, we have less than a minute, and my only thoughts is I liked the USF Kendo Club. From what I saw, wasn't the martial arts of what I saw. I wasn't too impressed, but they were really nice to talk to, and I might just not have seen their best performance. I wish we had gotten to see the drums at night, and a couple of the cosplays I saw were pretty cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to take any pictures because it didn't feel like a venue that kind of welcomed people to take pictures of each other.
I would have been more impressed with the demonstrations. They were more organized. They actually had a legitimate space to try out their itineraries. It just didn't seem right.
I wish they had given us an itinerary, and I wish they had announced when things were occurring, because you more or less just stumbled into things that were happening. And what would have been nice was for them to have some way to, like, define lines, because at least a few of the lines kind of meshed into each other, and there was at least one place I didn't go to because I wasn't sure where the line started, and I didn't want to get in line for the wrong thing and wait a long time, and then found out I had.
That was the other really bad thing was, so they had a very tiny square of their food truck, so lines kind of intermixed and ended up making the two busiest food trucks, sad to say, made almost one straight barrier.
They did, because they were on complete opposite ends, and so the line just kind of went up to the middle, essentially. And then they had only 2 vendors. I would have liked to have a more variety of vendors. Not that there's anything wrong with the vendors that were there.
They did say to bring seating. There was limited seats. We brought chairs, but we ended up also having to park 2 blocks down. We didn't anticipate on eating there.
I don't know what we would have brought chairs for anyway. They do need more seating. I mean, they could have brought plastic seats. I mean, there's something they probably could have done. I know a couple, at least the faux people, they had set up a little picnic table in front of their spot. The only seating you really had was over by the bar that was attached to the parking lot. The bar was kind of cool. I don't know if you went in. The bar was one of the sponsors. So the bar, I guess, was one of the sponsors, but they went in. I didn't drink there. But they had some cool art when I walked in. It was pretty neat. I might go back to the bar at some point. Oh no, we're going to have to finish up really, really fast.
Charge your battery.
I know, I'm going to charge it while it's uploading this time. Anyway, those are the thoughts I have. My overall feeling of it is
Yeah, you couldn't talk me into going a second year, and if it was in the same spot, they'd have to be in a bigger venue. The person that runs it, I'm not impressed with how they handle things.
No, I'm really, really bothered by the way they handled a lot of things, especially the social media. I'm making a whole other video on that because of how many issues there were with that. But not impressed with them. I would not attend another one of their events, whether it was for this or not.
Oh, I may attend another
unless they have like a really, really impressive reason.
I may attend one of their events if there was a food truck that I would want to go to.
That's it. That's the only reason I would attend one.
That's the biggest thing for me, though, is that I'm a huge foodie.
Yeah, you are.
I like to cook and I like to eat, and I go out to eat very frequently, as do a lot of my friends. So
sum it up. Better organization. I mean, the parking, like, there wasn't too much you can do about that because of the location. So, better organization. Better location. Better setup. Like, by organization, I mean, like, better setup of the way you have everything set up in the area.
Well, organization, period.
Organization.
Overall.
Make sure that your Facebook page is updated days in advance as to when things are going to occur. And then make sure when you're at the event that things occur. Have music, or at least have something going on, but don't make the music too overwhelming. I don't know, something. It felt like it needed music to me.
It needed music. It needed something to go for.
I would make sure that you vet your vendors. Oh, another thing I was thinking of. So, they ran out of food at least a couple of times during the day, apparently. And here's my thing. If you know you're going to have an all-day long food truck, food trucks can only carry so much food, like, in the space that they have. So if you know they're probably going to run out, or you think they might even be a chance, set up an hour 2 times a day where the food trucks will close down for that hour and have events like everything else that's going on happen during that time.
You can't do that, though.
You can. I think you can.
No, you absolutely cannot. If you go to a food truck rally, food truck rallies are only maybe a few hours.
Well, then space them out. Yeah, but this one wasn't. This one they planned for it to be from noon until 11 p.m. at night. So it's something they could have done in this case.
No, they couldn't.
I definitely think they could have. You could even stagger them. I think they could have done something to help. Not prevent it. They're going to run out of food, but they could have made it so not everybody ran out of food, apparently all around the same time.
The stocking of your own venue is your responsibility.
It is your responsibility. I completely agree with it. But as an event coordinator, they could have worked with their food trucks to help that situation along rather than just complaining about it and stuff. So, just my opinion on that. So, clearly you differ, and that's fine.
Go to a few more food truck rallies, you'll fully understand why.
I just think that if you're expecting to have, food trucks and your Facebook page is very clear that lots and lots of people are coming, then you talk to your vendors about it, even just enough to tell them to go, hey, you guys might want to have a plan for restocking throughout the day.
Nobody anticipated, none of the vendors there anticipated to have that many people in such a small venue.
Definitely. But that's my point. The event coordinator.
But they were all fully stocked. If you go to each individual food truck's page, which I did, I went to 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
They all stocked up for what they would have done at any food truck rally. You can only fit so much in those trucks. A food truck rally only runs maybe for 2, 3, maybe 4 hours.
So then the question is, why did they decide to have a food truck rally that went for so long?
Because it wasn't a food truck rally. Keep looking at all the pages.
It was a festival.
It was a festival. So food vendors are food vendors. Nobody stocked up like you're a restaurant with a walk-in cooler or anything of that nature.
So then the issue might have been more the length of it that it was planned.
A lot of it was the length that they planned. Not enough venues. People didn't have many options to eat from. So
yeah, which meant everybody. Oh yeah, so that's right.
So they went with what was there. And the really sad part for me, and I applaud the man. I hope he did wonderfully for that day. But there was a barbecue shop 2 doors down.
There was.
And this boy had a line.
He was so busy all day long. Oh, it was kind of funny.
And I want to go back because I know
it smells
I know so many people that actually go there frequently. And now that I know where it's at, I'm so going to hit it up and do a review of my own on him.
It would have been kind of cool. It doesn't seem so. I don't know about you, but the couple of businesses we walked into that were around the area didn't seem to know that this event was occurring right next door to them.
No, they had no clue.
They had no clue. And if you're going to do an event in an area that has little stores next door that could possibly benefit, like maybe somebody's interested in going to check it out afterwards like we did.
I don't know, like the spa that was just right across the street.
Yeah, the spa that was across the street. Like, let them know that you're doing an event because 1, they can let their clientele know, and 2, they can like find some way to advertise themselves as well. Mm-hmm. And then the next time you host an event, they're going to be supporting you in that, and it helps build everything up. I
think the other humorous thing about this whole event was there was a snow cone truck, and they were doing so well.
Oh, I did not understand that.
45-degree weather, and people are out eating snow cones.
Those are all the people who like the snow and like the cold and all that.
I would have got me a snow cone if I wanted to sit 25 more minutes in line.
I would totally go back for those cannolis, though. They were so good. So delicious. So delicious. I'd go back to try the pho. I would have gone back to get cannolis. I would have gone back to try the coffee people's place. And the cupcakes. But I know those cupcakes people are in a lot of places.
I'm going to look up Spatties and see where I can find them. I'm already following them on Facebook.
Anyway, so that was our feeling. My overall feeling was eh. What was your overall feeling?
There's no way I'd go back to a second year if it's held there again. Just none.
What if they held it in a different location that was bigger?
It would have to be considerably bigger. There would have to be considerably more vendors there. If I showed up and I saw a Japanese themed anything over there and you're pushing that you're going to have authentic candies and whatnot, and I show up and there's one booth there with maybe 20 different items when I know I can go a 20-minute drive from my apartment to a flea market who has a storefront of nothing but Japanese foods and whatnot. I'm going to go there first before I go to that festival.
You know, we totally fielded this 5-minute review thing.
Oh, well.
However, I feel a lot more relaxed to go back and finish up my homework that is pissing me the heck off today. No, I'm in such a bad mood because of that homework. I'm sorry if I've snapped at you today.
Snip, clip, paste. I've been in too much pain for me to even care.
Yeah. Are you going?
Am I going to DR? Only if I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm in pain.
Oh, okay. Did you want me to go with you?
You'd have to drive because I can't stand for too long.
Oh, you said earlier that you would drive yourself.
Yeah, and that was before I started moving around.
Alright, well, it's not like I can't call into work if you have to go, so. Okay, anyway. Do you want me to cut this part?
Sure. Yeah.
Howdy-ho. Okay, now I'm going to leave it in just because of that.